Peace unto you. I am Nadiie. What's coming through today is spirituality is not complex. People have their own philosophies and ideologies as it pertains to spirit or being spiritual, but they make it far too complex. There's far too many steps. There's things that you have to do. Now, in truth, the very, very first step to reaching the bridge between that which is physical and that which is spiritual, is more of a doing nature, is involved with forgiveness, is intertwined with releasing to receive. But pretty much after you have gone through the forgiveness, after you have anchored that which is light as much as your physical vessel can handle, there's not much you have to do. If anything, being spiritual in its most simple terms is being loving. That's it. The masters of masters and all the ascended masters, all of the angels, they will literally tell you, 1, stop taking this life so seriously. 2, love more. Stop being angry at your neighbor. Stop being angry at yourself. Some people bring forth the ideology of love more, but they don't actually break that down for you or will that in a way that will serve for you. Simply being more loving is waking up with the priority of not arguing, waking up with the priority to be aware of your triggers, waking up with the priority to say, I am going to be the living example of light. Even if you just say for today, take a step. It doesn't have to be every day, doesn't have to be every week. Yes, that's ideal, but we're saying take the first step. Today, I'm going to live the perfect day. And I don't care if the environment tells me otherwise. I don't care if people want to argue with me, if people are cutting me off on the road. I put out in the universe, I told my spirit guides, I told Source, listen, I want to live the light today. So what is Source going to do? Or be for you? Source is going to will in the light in your vessel, in your immediate area, but for a wound to be healed, it must be exposed. So you may feel like, the moment I'm on this path of light, why does it feel like my life is crashing down? That's because the wound is being exposed and you're smelling all that nasty stuff. You're seeing the infection because you wasn't taking care of yourself. So if for whatever reason, the day you choose to be better, people are cutting you off in the road, people flipping you off, people cussing, that's a reflection of what's going on within you. It's a battle within your cells, and your cells just want to live in peace and harmony. So, after you get past that muck, if you are truly, truly ambitious and dedicated, it'll only take 3 days. We affirm this. All dark night of the souls, all forms of trials and tests should only take 3 days. The first day is for forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. You forgive yourself for even creating the illusion of lack. And then you forgive others for participating in your illusion of lack. Remember, there's no separation. So we are forgiving others to abide by the laws of this dimension because we're in this dimension, so you have to abide by the laws of this dimension. But we understand that we are the co-creator of our reality. So we're forgiving them not for doing anything, but for participating in what we initially created. All right, that's the first day. The first day is all about forgiveness. The masters of masters always bring forth this concept of, if you bring forth affirmations and forgiveness and constantly put in your brain, I am the presence, I am okay, I forgive this, I forgive that. If triggers come up, I forgive that. If anything other than that which is love comes forth, I forgive that. I will be in His presence. If you just constantly say those things in your mind, even if you don't believe them, since they are truth in its full context, not just truth in physicality, but truth in the realms of spirit, it'll be applied in your life. You don't need the ego to be the judge and say, yes, that is correct, or no, that is not correct. If you know something is true, if source gives you direct information, if source be like, you know what I'm saying, the apple is actually yellow. All right, this apple that you think is red is actually yellow. If you get that information directly from God, but then the ego says, no, it's a red apple. We've always been saying this is a red apple. It's a big test. You don't need the ego to say it's a red apple or not. Even if your ego, which is aligned with your two eyes, even the two eyes and your ego is saying, no, this is not a yellow apple. No, make your eye be single. You understand that I don't need confirmation of the flesh. I'm going to move not by faith. See, transmute your belief into knowing, as well as your faith. Transmute your faith into knowing. No longer are we asking you to move by faith. We're asking you to move by knowingness. Knowingness. The veil that people thought was here was never here to begin with. We've all shifted, and we've done many shifts. All right, there are beings and light beings and angels that have been covering this planet with light. And ever so often, they'll all come together and they'll assist, because they'll see the collective consciousness. And once it reaches a specific frequency, literally, they'll be facilitating a mass portal shift. And this portal shift, we may think we're asleep when it happens, but they have a way of literally making everyone go to sleep at once. And then you'll go through the portal shift, because we reach a specific frequency within our collective consciousness. And then we just act like, oh, nothing ever happened, because we're not consciously aware that we made that portal shift. So, all in all, understand that you are fully supported. Understand that day one is all about the forgiveness, willing in that energy. Day two is about that integration, integrating the frequency of forgiveness, integrating the frequency of the I am. If day one was like, all right, I'm going to be releasing this energy. Day two is, all right, I've emptied my cup. Source, refill it with that which is, not that which isn't. And then day three is the presence, is being. It's, I understand the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing in all avenues. I am going to be this presence, even though the ego may not see it with its two eyes. I'm going to let my eye be single as much as possible. I'm going to move by the knowingness of source. So within 3 days, forgiveness, integration, and just being the presence. Being the presence is just understanding that even if I don't feel like I evolved, if I know I did some very powerful techniques, which is forgiving myself, forgiving others, and integration, because people may forgive, but they don't integrate. If I understand I've done these powerful techniques that the masters have done to reach the master status, then I'm good. And I know that as above, so below. So I did these very spiritual techniques. It's in the spirit realms. It's existing. And now it has to be aligned through this dimension and time. So it instantaneously pops up in the realms of spirit. Your frequency instantaneously raises in the realms of spirit, in the ethers and the astral and light realms. But because this dimension moves by time, it has to be filtered through it. So depending on your purpose and how big your light is, you can't expect God to just deliver 100 gallons of light into your vessel, because you're going to explode. God's going to give you a cup of light each day until that gallon is gone. And then it's going to move to the next gallon until it reaches 100 gallons. So know that spirituality isn't complex. Be a more loving person. See through the eyes of source. You literally just have to say, God, guide me to seeing as you see. And all shall be willed in, by, and for the will of source. Remember, there's nothing for you to do. Just be. With that, we say welcome home.
Water wash my cries, salt in my eyes, lost in the prize, fought back to rise. Watch me hold my breath, moving past the time. Head first I dive, where your love reside, where your love reside, and your love was I, in the past of mine. Did we make your minds?